Hello and welcome into today's video where we are checking out Enjin and its Polkadot integration with Efinity, and finally we will also check out the price charts as always, because Enjin has been pumping a lot of articles and guides about Polkadot and their ecosystem as well, which they are integrating now with Efinity. So I think it was a great time to revisit Enjin, and after that also check out the price charts as always. And as always, you can also subscribe to this channel because it's totally free. So if you like this content, you will never miss a new one. But back to Enjin and the Polkadot parachains. So first of all, we have a definition of parachains and what they are bringing onto the blockchain table, which I believe was explained also in my Polkadot series, which you can check out in this top right hand corner if you haven't already. However, back to this dilemma which is solving, and that means first it has very good speeds, it has also very good security, and finally it's fully decentralized. And they are saying that with Polkadot they can finally have all those three at the same time. However, if you've seen my videos about Algorand, Seville Mikali says, which is by the way the founder and CEO of Algorand, he says that only they at Algorand have been able to achieve this blockchain trilemma. So I will leave this to your own opinion. Then we have a brief history of Polkadot, which you can check out in the top right hand corner again if you haven't already. But an important thing to mention is that it has been founded by the Dr. Gavin Wood, who was also a co-founder of Ethereum. And finally here we have the parachains explanation. The Polkadot ecosystem consists of the main relay chain and then those parachains, and you can make a great real-world parallel where the relay chain is actually a shopping mall building, and all the parachains inside the relay chain are the individual store in the mall that can be rented out. And with those parachains they can do whatever they want. However, the relay chain takes care of all the security and make sure transactions happen quickly. And they also provide a solution if you don't want to have this service at all times, maybe just a couple of days per month, then you can use their so-called para threads, which is the same thing. So then how do you rent a parachain like that? It's usually done with auctions where each firm bids a certain amount of DOT, which is Polkadot tokens, and there is a minimum bid of 10,000 DOT tokens, which is quite a hefty sum at this time. So more often than not they will ask their supporters to contribute DOT for them as well to boost the bid, which is not known as Polkadot crowd loan. And then for the support they will reward those providers with their issued tokens throughout the rental period. And if the company succeeds, the crowd loaners can make a substantial return. They also have Kusama, which is their testing network, which we check out in the Polkadot overview as well. And here are just some examples of parachains. So first of all, the Efinity from Enjin team, cross-chain NFTs and the metaverse, but also Guild, Bifrost, Pala or Subsocial, just to name a few. Also, they have continued with some things you might have not known about Polkadot. For example, that DOT was originally an ICO on Ethereum back in October 2017. However, there was a vulnerability in Ethereum and Polkadot lost nearly 60% of the funds raised, so they had to do another round in 2019 and another in May 2020. So it's pretty nice that despite those hurdles they have been able to push through. Also, the supply of the tokens was increased to 1 billion from the previous 10 million units, and this was done on August 21st, 2020. And it was actually a official change which was voted on by the actual DOT holders, so they had the option to change it by a factor of 10, 100 or 1000 or not at all, and it ended on 100 times factor increase. As I mentioned previously, also founder of Polkadot is a co-founder of Ethereum. And maybe the most cool thing about Polkadot is that apps built on Polkadot can also connect to external networks. They are not limited just to the Polkadot ecosystem like with many other blockchains. And this feature is called bridging, which allows them to talk to external networks such as Ethereum or Bitcoin, because there's no hiding behind the fact that probably about 80% of all dApps are built on Ethereum network. Also, of course, building a chain on Polkadot is much more economical than building your solo blockchain. And then a couple of points which we've already mentioned previously. And finally, a claim that Polkadot will be faster than Ethereum 2.0, which according to Vitalik Buterin should have an average network throughput of 100,000 transactions per second, or TX-S for short. However, Polkadot can now sustain a rate of 1000 TPX with a theoretical upper limit of up to 1 million transactions per second once all parachains optimizations have been completed. However, that's still some time away, so I wouldn't count on that. As well, I wouldn't count on Ethereum 2.0 launch because it has been announced again and again and it is still not arrived. And with a bit of a recheck for the Enjin ecosystem, we can now jump into price charts, where we can see that the Enjin is staying pretty much in this uptrending price channel, going for a good couple of months now. We've just had a brief false breakout here towards the end of November, and now the price is being pushed down even below the 50-day and 100-day moving averages. However, from this point of view, there is nothing dramatic going on, well, except this 50% correction. However, by this point, I think we are pretty used to those type of corrections in the crypto space, and you just pretty much have to wait for your timing after there is such a correction. When we break this kind of resistance line, there is usually some nice run up, as we could see previously here and here as well. So now I would logically expect a very similar scenario here after we break this resistance line. Either it's here near those 50-day and 100-day moving averages, or even all the way back down here when we retest this support line and break it just down here. Before that, there is not much reason to get into Enjin coin at the moment, because it can keep falling even lower and reaching those lower and lower supports before finally breaking this resistance line. However, checking out the Enjin to Bitcoin ratio, this gives a quite a different picture, because this breakout doesn't look all that dramatic here in this ratio, and now it also seems that we are retesting this support line over here, which has been going pretty strong and pretty well respected, with a couple of perfect tags over here and also over here, with a strong link as well to the previous all-time highs here in February 2019. So pretty respected levels again. We are around the 50-day and 100-day moving average here, and on top of this all, we could maybe see a uptrending support line over here, but it's maybe a bit of a stretch. Either way, there should be quite a lot of support here, which again, if we manage to break this downtrending resistance line, could lead to nice run up in this ratio again. And finally, let's check out also the Enjin to Ethereum ratio, where we can see a bit of a similar picture. Again, kind of a false breakout over here, and we are now sandwiched in between those support lines, which from afar could see like a move sideways for pretty much half a year now. However, in this case, it seems that we are under both the 50-day moving and the 100-day moving average, and on top of this, we are under this trend line over here, which is now acting as a resistance, and it has been acting as a resistance a couple of times before here in the beginning of 2020 and also towards the middle of 2021 here. So from the Ethereum point of view, there could be a bit more pressure than from the Bitcoin, but it certainly doesn't look like the end of the world in regards from this Ethereum ratio. So to conclude, I would definitely not start a position before we surpass this resistance line over here. Doesn't make much sense, because we can easily do another couple of percentage drops all the way to the support line, or maybe even lower. But after we cross this resistance line, on the other hand, it can get a very interesting option, at least for the near-term future. If you are holding for the long term, obviously you don't care that much at all. This was a great buying opportunity, and if you manage to hold all your coins even through this price drop over here, you should not be worried about any short-term price action. And that's it from today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and if so, make sure to subscribe or like this video to support my channel. And with this, I thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers!